welcome all of you to what I had originally planned to say was the four out of four monthly updates. Yeah, the wind is blowing. But I am happy to announce that I worked out with Liz Mestris and the other folks here that because of the attendance, such as this evening and so forth, we're going to continue. And I'm basically going to do it for the next 4 months. Thank you very much. People seem to find it interesting, and I enjoy doing it. So as long as that happy relationship continues, we're going to continue. The next one, because of scheduling problems, will be on Tuesday. We're going to continue the Tuesday evening. But the next one will be on the 18th of January because of scheduling issues. Then we'll go back to the aiming at the second Tuesday of every month, which is what we've tried to do up until now. So, but the next time we will meet in January on this date, 7:30 here, the usual time. If waiting that long is a real grief for you, I wanted to remind you of the website, because I am now writing material almost every few days. Something new goes up on that website. So if you're interested in what is in effect a continuous updating of what's going on, then you might want to look at the website, the blog section of the website, or just the home page where the stuff gets put out. What I'm writing now also goes on the monthly review webzine, The Truth Out, blasts that go around, and several others. But it usually goes first here on the website, so you can get a hold of that. This evening is a little bit different because two things interestingly happened since last time. One, a whole lot of fairly major pieces of economic news, so I have to update you on that since that's part of what we do. And I'm happy to say that several of you emailed me with requests or suggestions. I feel a little bit like I'm a DJ for popular music. You want me to play your favorite song. But so I will try, and it may take the whole time, but I will try to go through the issues either that have happened, that have been big in the news, and give you a context and a way of understanding them that may not have occurred to you yet, or I will be going over things you asked me to talk about. So without more ado, let me go in and invite you, of course, to raise questions, make comments as you might find interesting. Let me start with what happened today. Since that's going to be topical and do updates, then I should deal with what happened today, yesterday and today. President Obama and the Republicans announced an agreement, and it is a major agreement between them on an issue that had divided them, or actually a set of issues. The basic struggle was as follows. Millions, with an M, millions of American workers have been unemployed for a very long time. It's an unusual recession in many ways, but one of the ways it's unusual is that the percentage of people who have been unemployed a very long time is much larger than it usually is in our economic downturn. It's been very hard for people without work to find another job to replace what they lost. There have been extensions of the number of weeks that unemployed people can collect benefits beyond what was the case when the recession started. That has been done to accommodate those who have been out a long time. But millions of them were scheduled to lose their extended benefits starting on the 1st of December, or close to the last few days. So it became an emergency for the Congress to act now, or not act. The question was, would the people who have been unemployed a very long time and used up all of the extensions that have been passed by the government, would they or would they not get another extension for another 18 weeks or 26 weeks or however long they're going to do it. The Democrats, with Obama as their leader, wanted a bill to be passed to once again extend the number of weeks you're eligible so the people scheduled to lose their unemployment benefits, and note the timing, for Christmas, wouldn't be given this unwanted Christmas present, which is no more money. The Republicans said no. They would not do this because they are committed, as they said a million times in the last election, to reducing the government's deficits. We are having record deficits. We've spoken about that before. And the Republicans, and indeed the Democrats, ran many of their campaigns on getting the deficit reduced. The government should not be spending so much more than it raises in taxes. Excuse me, are you looking for a chair?
Yes, I need 2 chairs.
Here's one. They're here, and there's some in the rooms back there as well. Okay, good. So the Republicans balked in the name of deficit. The deficit is always used by conservative folks to justify not spending money on people they don't want to spend money on anyway. And so that's not new. So what was the real reason? The real reason had to do with another plan of the Obama administration, also being negotiated now, which has to do with tax cuts and tax increases, just to make sure you all understand. Because of the laws of the United States, when President Bush lowered the taxes, George Bush, the last one, he had to do it in a particular way to get around legal voting rules in the Congress. So he had to do this very bizarre thing, which is he gave a tax cut, he passed a bill, that automatically went back to the higher rates at a certain date. And that date is the end of this year. And that's been known for years. So at the end of this year, literally New Year's Eve, as of New Year's Eve, the tax rates that had been brought down under the Bush administration were scheduled to go back up. So the question was, if the government, the Congress and the President, if the Congress didn't do anything, they would automatically go up. So that in 2011, everybody in this room, for example, everybody would have to pay a higher income tax rate. More money would be withheld from your weekly check by the IRS for your income tax. So the Obama administration's rule was the following. We want to pass a law that extends for some years the lower rates. In other words, to prevent the automatic going back up that would have happened at the end of the year. But the Obama administration's plan said that would only be for people, individuals who earn $200,000 or less. Some of you can now relax. $200,000 or less, and if you're a family of 2, if you jointly file, $250,000. If you earn less than that, under the Obama plan, then your taxes would not go up. But if you earned more than that, then your taxes would go up. Before you cry, the difference is 35% is the rate for people at that high level. Now it would have risen to 39 or 39.5% in the event that the return to the earlier rates was allowed to go through. The Republicans balked at that. The Republicans said, no, this is an economic recession. It would be terrible to raise anyone's taxes. We need the money spent. So suddenly it was important not to require that the rich people go back to 39 or 39.5%. Please notice, if you don't make the rich people pay, the deficit, of course, gets worse because they're not paying. Within 15 minutes of saying that because of the deficit, we can't make extensive payments to unemployed, we were forgetting about the deficits, and we were talking about why it was important that rich people not pay taxes, even though that will worsen the deficit. You gotta admit and enjoy these moments, otherwise you will cry. Right? So you have to laugh, since those are the options. So the Republicans said no. So Mr. Obama and the Republicans had meetings. It turns out they had meetings without the presence of Mrs. Pelosi and other Democratic leaders, since they are making noises these days that are not so good, and a deal was cut between the Republicans and the president, and that was announced late last night and again today. And here's the deal, and this is going to affect all of you, so you should be aware. Number one, none of the mandated increases in taxes will happen. All the taxes levels will be remaining at what they were. They will remain in 2011 and 2012, what they have been in 2010. They will not go up. Not for low or middle income, and not for rich people either. The Republicans got what they wanted from the president.